Hello, everybody. So, I'm still trying to get my Stabathon video vlog uploaded. We've had some issues with our internet. There's been another company take it over, and so we haven't actually been able to have good internet the last couple of days. So, that's been uploading, stopped uploading, uploading, stopped uploading. So finally, it's on about 30 something percent. So hopefully by tomorrow. But I wanted to go ahead and film this video because I had a photo prompt for Halloween Weekend readathon, and I chose to do some of my favorite thrillers, and so I just thought it would be good to film a video with my most favorite of all times. A couple of them are just my favorite thriller authors, and so we'll talk about that as we go through it. And the first one I have is I like this author a lot, and this book was recommended to me. I don't remember who I watched read this book and recommended it, but I know it's been around for a while, and it's Pieces of Her by Karen Slaughter. And this one is about a mother and a daughter, and there's a murder, and the mother, it's been a while since I've read it, so I'm trying to remember. The mother tells the daughter just to go. When the police show up, she just tells her, go, go, go. And so the daughter takes off, and then she spends all this time trying to, put these pieces together to learn who her mother is. So it's a really good book, and I didn't know there was a Netflix show about it. See, I am really behind. And, that's the thing. There's so many books that I haven't read, and there just seems to be so many books, and I feel like I'm so behind, and I'm not going to get all these books read. But I'm working on it. Okay, and I don't know where my dust jacket went for this one. This series, I'm not quite sure if it's a thriller or not. I would say it was, but some of you might not. And the dust jacket I had for it, but I don't know where it went. And so I just pulled it off my shelf anyway, because I want to put this in there. I've only read 2 in the series, and this one is actually Stalking Jack the Ripper. I always take my dust cover off because I don't want to get it ruined, and I usually set it up on my shelf above my computer, but I've read this one so long ago. Probably what happened is I was reading this one at night as I went to bed, and then left it in my room. And this one is by Kerri Maniscalco, and it's about this girl, and she wants to be a coroner. Yes, because she wants to do the autopsies. And her uncle, that's what he does. And he has an apprentice that works with him, and then he also lets her sit in on the classes and participate in so she's trying to solve this case of who Jack the Ripper is. And so I really like that one too. And I recently read the Hunting Prince Dracula, and it was good too. I liked it a lot. So this next one was what got me into this author, and it's not necessarily my favorite one by her. I enjoy her writing, but it's The Woman in Cabin 10. It's the first one I read of Ruth Ware, and I do enjoy her writing a lot. This one is about they're on a boat, a cruise ship, And this woman, it's been a while since I read this one too. This woman thinks oh, yes, that's what I thought. She thinks she hears somebody be thrown overboard, and she thinks it's somebody in cabin 10 that was thrown overboard, and they don't have anybody registered for cabin 10. And so she thinks she's been, anyway, she's she's doubting. The next book that I really enjoyed when I read it, and I have one of his, I don't know how many he's written, but I have read it because I'm afraid I won't enjoy it as much as I did this one, and that's The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. But this book just absolutely threw me for a loop. I enjoyed this book so much, and then the ending was so fabulous. I was so drawn in from the very beginning in this book. In this book, this woman shoots her husband, and she then, and I'm not giving anything away because it's on the cut back, and then she stops talking, and she won't give any kind of explanation, and her story has gripped the nation, so to speak, and everybody wants to know why she shot her husband. And she's dubbed the Silent Patient. She's hidden away from tabloids in a secure psych unit. There's a criminal psychotherapist named Theo Faber, and he decides he wants to work with her. So he's determined to get her to talk and unravel the mystery of why she shot her husband. And it was so incredible. This book is so awesome. There are books that you want to read again for the first time. This is one of them. So the next one that I enjoyed very, very, very much is not the first one of his that I've read, but it's The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I actually read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires first, and I have Horrorstör, but I haven't read it yet. But this one I liked better than the Southern Book Club. I enjoyed how this one was set. The group of final girls that were there, and I'll just read the back. It says, from chainsaws to summer camp slayers, Grady Hendrix' fast-paced and wickedly humorous thriller, The Final Girl Support Group pays tribute to and slyly subverts our most popular horror films, movies like The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Scream. Lynette Tarkington is a real-life final girl who survived a massacre. For more than a decade, she's been meeting with 5 other final girls and their therapists in a support group for those who endured the unthinkable working to put their lives back together. So what happens is one of them is found murdered, and they want to, one is missing. She misses a meeting, and they want to stop meeting. And this girl is just beside herself. She doesn't want to. And it's just, it says, Then one woman misses a meeting, and Lynette's worst fears are realized. Someone knows about the group and is determined to rip their lives apart again, piece by piece. So it's to me it's just well written, and it does have some. I just enjoyed it so much. I love his little um like these little clips here in between the chapters. Like, this is The American Dream Girl's Nightmare Life by Rusty Squires the third, The Believer, August 2008, and it's like a newspaper clipping. I just thought that, I mean, he's got all kinds of different things in there. So I have read every one of this author's books, and I've enjoyed every one of them. There's one that I didn't enjoy as much as the others. One that I have is my least favorite, and it's not everybody else's least favorite. In fact, some people think it's the best, but this one is my favorite, and it was the second one I read of his. But my least favorite is the Last Time I Lied, but Home Before Dark is my favorite. Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, and this is about a haunted. This is a book about. This is a book in a book. This girl and her parents live in a house, and supposedly the house is haunted, and her dad is actually writing a book about the house, and so it tells, as you go, it tells the story from the book, and then her, as she's, the story from her, and it's just, I loved it. This was my favorite Riley Sager book. My next favorite book is Simone St. James's The Broken Girls, and I've already said that Simone St. James will always be an auto buy. In fact, I just ordered another one of her books. I didn't realize that she had more books than the ones I had already read. So it's some kind of The Haunting of Maddie Clare, I think is what I ordered. But I just read this one, and this is about, it's two timelines. One is from 1950, and one is from 2014. In 1950, you follow four girls that are at this school for girls, and some of them are misbehaved, some of them don't have families, some of them are like, I can't think, words are hard today. Anyway, and then these four girls have become their roommates, and they've become friends, and so it's following their storyline, and the school is haunted and by a ghost. And then the other timeline is, I can't remember the woman's name, is Fiona's story, and she is still grieving her sister who's been dead 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. And her sister was found on the hockey field, I believe it was, near the, well, it was the hockey field of this school, but the school wasn't in session at that time. So it's going through both of these timelines, and it eventually ties together in a way. And it is such a good book. I love this book. And it has a big twist. Some of them you see it has a few twists, and some of them you see coming, and some of them you don't. But the supernatural element, the haunting element, is So good. It's so good. It's so good. Um, I wanted to share my story about the Sundown Motel. It's up there, right there. When I was reading that, I was at a conference this past summer, and I was staying at that's the Sundown Motel. But I was staying at a hotel, and I was reading it at night, and I didn't get much sleep because it's kind of creepy when you're staying at a hotel and you're reading about a haunted motel, and it's yeah. So anyway, that's when I had already read the book of the book of cold cases, and knew I liked her writing. But then after I finished the Sundown Motel, I knew that I had to read more from her. And after the Broken Girls, she became an auto buy. I will buy anything by her. So this author he writes a character. It's a recurring character in all of his books, from the very first book he published to the books he's publishing now with his younger brother. And his character is Jack Reacher. I chose this one because it's one of the more recent ones, and I really enjoyed this one. It's called Better Off Dead. But Lee Child is an incredible thriller writer, and he always writes about Jack Reacher. And there's a they have one season of Reacher on Amazon Prime. It has 8 episodes, and there's 2 movies out with Tom Cruise, but I didn't really think Tom Cruise fit the Jack Reacher. I didn't watch the movies. My sister has, and she's the one who recommended these. So, and she enjoyed the movies. But I really enjoyed the little season that they have, the little show. And I was actually in the hospital with COVID, and I watched it when it came out that night. But this one is about he's walking. He always walks wherever he goes. Sometimes he rides a bus and he gets dropped off somewhere, but most of the time he's walking. And he used to be in the military, and he was an MP, and he retired, and now he just roams. He's like a nomad, and he only has the clothes he has on. If he wants more clothes, he just buys a new set of clothes, and he throws the ones he's got on away. And he finds this Jeep that's been crashed, and he thinks the woman in the Jeep is dead, but she's not dead, and he almost ruins her little setup. And so he ends up helping this woman, trying to find her brother, who they think is dead. But Reacher helps her, and then moves on. And I'm not gonna tell you if the brother's dead or not, because I can't even remember. I've read so many of these are books that I could probably go back through and I could read them again. Okay, the next series I'm gonna tell you about, because I love this whole series, is by an author, and this series is because of the character, is why I love it so much. And it's the Odd Thomas series. I brought the first book out, but this is my favorite. This is the first book, Odd Thomas, and it's about a guy named Odd Thomas, and he sees dead people, and he tries to help them cross over to, wherever they need to go. And he has his soulmate, and her name is Stormy Llewellyn. And he is trying to it says, a stranger comes to Pico Mundo, accompanied by a horde of hyena-like shades who herald an immediate catastrophe. So these hyena-like shades always mean catastrophe. His account of these shattering hours in which past and present fate and destiny converge is a testament by which to live, an unforgettable fable for time, destined to rank among Dean Koontz's most enduring works. I always talk about Odd Thomas. He's just so endearing. But this one, Brother Odd, is my favorite in the series. And I'm going to just tell you just a little bit about it, and then I'm going to close this. He is staying at St. Bartholomew's Abbey. And he's always where something's going to happen. And that's why he's there. He's always somewhere where he's supposed to help somebody, or is supposed to help people. And there's always going to be something happen there, because that's why he's there, is to help. And so it says, St. Bartholomew's Abbey sits in a majestic solitude amid the wild peaks of California's High Sierra, a haven for children otherwise abandoned, and a sanctuary for those seeking insight. Odd Thomas has come here to learn to live fully again, and among the eccentric monks, their other guests, and the nuns and the young students of the attached convent school, he has begun to find his way. The silent spirits of the dead who visited him in his earlier life are mercifully absent, save for the bell-ringing Brother Constantine and Odd's steady companion, the King of Rock and Roll. But trouble has a way of finding Odd Thomas, and it slinks back into his path in the form of the sinister Bodaks he has met previously, the black shades who herald death and disaster, and who come late one December night to hover over the Abbey's most precious charges. So he knows that if he doesn't save these children, that they're going to die. And so he has to find out what's going on and save them. So there it is. There are my favorite, some of my favorite. I love thrillers. It's probably my favorite genre. And so I just wanted to share those with y'all, and I hope you found some that you might want to read. And I just thought it would be a good video to post, and I hope to get this one up soon. And if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up down below. And if you like this video and you want to see more from me, just click that subscribe button down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.